Okay, so here we have a semi-automatic corrugated box stitching machine. It's a very wide capacity, very quick machine for stitching the flap on corrugated boxes. And you can see there's 4 feet from the center line from the stitch to the right and 7 feet to the left. So you can do gaylords and even larger rectangular boxes. It uses just a standard long draw ideal stitcher stitching head. The rollers are powered with a motor drive system. So you just feed the box plank in with the flaps properly aligned going through the shoe. And then the first set of rolls pneumatically clamps down as soon as the in-feed switch is tripped, and then it pulls the box through and stitches it pretty quickly. There's a low and high speed setting, so there's a 2-speed motor. And then you adjust, there's multiple adjustments. You can move the fences left and right. And then in order to adjust the length of the flap, so where it starts stitching, you move that hand wheel, which turns a chain, which moves the switch system in the back, so it'll move it farther away or closer. So it has all new rubber feed rolls. And then we can go over here and check out the motor drive system. So the motor is down there, and it drives with a timing belt, a few different shafts, and there's 3 or 4 clutches that engage the different shafts at the appropriate time. And then there's a cam system here that's its purpose is to slow down the feed as it's stitching. And all that happens very quickly. You can't even see it over there while you're stitching. So this knob you use to adjust the nip of the roller. So if you have a single wall, double wall, triple wall, you would adjust this, and it raises that bottom shaft up or down. And then there's an adjustment here on this cam system that will spread out the distance between the staples. And then there's a hand wheel here that you access from the side if you need to rotate the stitcher over by hand while making adjustments. And then there's also if you see these plastic tubes along here, that's a lubrication system with a hand pump down here for all of the pillow blocks on that lower shaft, because the pillow blocks are a slightly different design, so the shaft can lift up and down about 1/2 inch. So then we can go around to the back of the machine. And we can see there's an electrical enclosure with all the contactors and timers. This isn't permanently placed here, but you would take this out and install it on the floor somewhere near the machine. So there's no PLC or any of that. It's just all timers and contactors. Pretty easy to work on. So this carriage here is the system for triggering when it should start stitching. So there's 2 little tangs that stick down in front of this. So as the first leading edge hits that, it hits a micro switch back here and it starts stitching. And then at some point, this pneumatic cylinder retracts back and gets that stuff out of the way. And then there's a tractor drive system here for help pulling the box out. the pneumatic regulators and pneumatic cylinders here that actuate the clamping of the bottom shaft to raise and lower the feed rolls. All right, so we can go back to the front and we can do a couple sample stitches. All right, so here's the control panel up here on this arm. Very simple. It's just stop, start, low and high speed, and then this counter is how many stitches you want it to do. So right now it's set for 21. So we'll pull this out, hit start. And now it's going. And then so we have, this is just simulating a box, but this distance, the flap distance, you want it to start stitching here. So you move that top wheel right there in order to move the trigger switch back so it starts stitching right there. So there's a bunch of nice looking staples, and then see here this isn't hitting this properly, so we'll just move that hand wheel and then slide this down a little bit. So we'll do another one. So that would just be moved up a little bit more, but as you can see, you just have to do a few adjustments depending on your box size, the wall of the cardboard, but it's a good working machine.